Nurses, let's face it, you will never get rich working for someone else. And how do I define rich? I define it as having the lifestyle, financial, and time freedom that I want. Let's talk about it in today's episode. Welcome to the Stay at Home Nurse Podcast. I'm your host, Deanna Cooper Gillingham. For over 25 years, I've strived to use my nurse credentials to find work that fit my lifestyle, whether it was raising my 4 children and 3 fur babies, traveling the world, or moving to Mexico and living on the Caribbean Sea. Sometimes I succeeded, and sometimes I failed, but I always learned from the experience. Now, I want to help you by sharing what worked and what didn't work. There are so many opportunities out there for nurses today. The Stay at Home Nurse Podcast will inspire and equip you to have a nursing career that is meaningful and supports your lifestyle. Now let's get started. If you would have told me in 2014 that today I would have my own successful business, I would have told you were crazy. I grew up in a small working class town and was never exposed to the idea of entrepreneurship. I was a worker. Everyone I knew was a worker. Then, one day I realized that no matter how hard I worked or how much I saved, I would never be wealthy. Heck, I couldn't even make ends meet, let alone think about retiring comfortably. And that was working a full-time job and a side gig. Something had to give. I looked up the career ladder and was not happy with what I saw. I could invest years of time and tens of thousands of dollars going back to school to advance my career so I could make a little more money. But the return on that financial investment would not come before I retired. Then I started listening to podcasts. Although the people I was listening to were not nurses, I became inspired. I began learning all I could about business and entrepreneurship. I took action on what I learned, and now I have my own successful business serving case managers. And I'm not alone. There are hundreds of nurse entrepreneurs. There are limitless opportunities for entrepreneurs, but you must invest in yourself. You must invest time. You must invest in education. You must invest money, and you must invest in your mindset. Let's look at each one of these. You must invest time. It takes time to start a business, both the daily investment of time and the long-term investment of time. If you're working 3 12-hour shifts, you may do a weekly investment of time instead of a daily investment because on those long 12-hour days, you really don't have any bandwidth to invest anything else. But in that case, look at your week and see how much time you can invest on each of your days off. You will have to give something up to make the time to invest. You may not be able to binge all the Netflix shows you want. You may have to give up some time with your family on the weekends, but the investment is so worth it. In addition, success does not happen overnight. Don't make the mistake of looking at where someone else is 5 years into their business and comparing it to where you are 6 months into your business. Too many entrepreneurs quit because they don't have instant success. The ones that succeed are the ones that are in it for the long haul and are committed to showing up every day for years to come. You must invest in education. I'm always surprised when someone who is willing to pay tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for a college education for themselves, their spouse, or their children so that they can potentially earn an average income, sometimes the same income or lower than that of someone who went to trade school or went straight into the workforce, does not want to spend a couple $100 or $1,000 on a quicker education that saves them time and gives them the potential to make unlimited money. Unless you have learned how to start, run, and grow a business somewhere in your life, you will need to invest in books, courses, training, and coaching to have a successful business. This investment in education is different than the traditional education that we're used to, but it can be just as valuable, if not more valuable, than that college education that we paid for, and some of us are still paying for. I have personally invested in all of these types of education, books, courses, training, and coaching. And the investments I made in these are just as important to the investment I made getting my nursing degree. You must invest money. Depending on your business, you may need a computer, special software, a website, a bookkeeper or an accountant, insurance, a marketing budget. The list goes on and on. You get the idea. Be prepared to spend money before you make money. You must invest in your mindset. Having the right mindset will not guarantee that you'll be successful, but having the wrong mindset will guarantee your failure. One of my favorite quotes is by Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Most people want to skip the mindset stuff because they believe it is just woo-woo. But the placebo effect is real. And what we tell ourselves will happen often does. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. But for me, it gives me the lifestyle, financial, and time freedom that I want. It makes me rich. What about you? In the last several weeks, we've talked about working as an employee, nurse entrepreneurship, nurse freelancing, and nurse entrepreneurship. Which one are you now? Where would you like to be 5 years from now? I would love to hear from you. Shoot me an email at hello@thestayathomenurse.com or go to our Facebook group, The Stay at Home Nurse Podcast, and let us know there which one are you and which one would you like to be in 5 years. I truly hope you have found this episode helpful, and I apologize for the birds who are just having an awesome time out there today. Doors are closed, but they still can be heard, and I do apologize for that. That's just one of the side effects of living in paradise. I look forward to speaking with you again next week.